Today is Columbus Day, a day when Italian Americans celebrate their heritage. And we all celebrate the spirit of adventure that enables people to look beyond their horizons and seek something new, whether it's knowledge or a place or a human potential. Where will you take your Nina, Pinta, and Santa Maria? A new world is waiting. Welcome to Breakfast Time with Tom Bergeron, Laurie Hibberd, and Bob the Puppet. My name's Jim, and I'm the announcer. Say good morning, Tom.
Good morning, Tom. Welcome back, Jim. And that's an interesting slant on the day that you present.
What?
Now, I just think Columbus Day is the ultimate guy's holiday. Like Valentine's Day is sort of a gal's holiday.
Yeah.
This is a guy's holiday because it celebrates the ultimate example of a guy refusing to ask for directions.
That's
right.
There you go.
I mean, he thought he was going to Asia 3 times.
And he would have made it.
That's right. That's right. We are going to take a look at CD-ROM games for your kids with 2 experts in the field. Yes, they're both kids, too, at heart at least. And in conjunction with the Computer Museum in Boston, my old digs, we're going to take a look at some great CD-ROM games. We're also in the Monday Motivation segment. Now, this may appear not to be all that motivating, but what Patricia is doing, pretending to meditate. Hold on to your mantra. Don't giggle. Come on. But feel the center right there. That's right, right there. Center right there. Wonderful. We're going to find out how yogic posture and meditation can actually help to energize you Mondays or any day of the week. We'll take a look at the wonders of plaid in fashion. Our own Bobsy Puppet.
Is he smoking back there?
I think no, he's got that new phlegm thing.
If they bring Soupy Sales back, I want to be ready.
Yeah. Well, you know, it's a 2-hour show. We can see how long you can hold your breath.
Well, thank you very much. Hey, did you see who's here?
Who's here?
It's a Hibberd-rich environment.
Laurie's mom.
Yeah, Hubba Hubba Hibberd.
All right,
yeah.
Hubba Hubba Hibberd Day.
Yeah.
We also have Carrot Top here, the comedian and propmeister extraordinaire. We have Susan Day, another Laurie Partridge, also later Grace Van Owen on LA Law. She's a vampire in a TV movie. And Little Feet.
Little Feet join us as well with their 13th album.
Hi,
and
Mom.
Mom's here.
Come on over,
Hey.
Mom. Don't go sitting over there.
Hey.
Get Mom Hibberd. Put your coffee down and just relax.
Thank you. And grapes for breakfast.
Yes, not only just grapes, but California table
grapes. A fine sponsor of this show.
And an excellent source of vitamin C.
And it tastes good, too.
Yes,
All right,
they
we've
do.
sucked up enough today.
Yeah, we're right on the cutting edge here. We've got Susan Day with her big fangs in the paper.
Yeah.
So we'll be talking to her later. I saw the movie over the weekend. It was pretty interesting. Mom and I watched it, actually.
Did you? What did you think?
Yeah.
I thought it was rather good. I like the way they did her eyes. You know, they don't turn blood red anymore.
Who's that?
They sort of go green,
Oh, her, yeah.
shiny.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Pretty.
vampire
makes
eyes
the-
have changed over the years.
She makes a good vampire?
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Oh, good.
Very ssort of Camille-like. You know?
All right.
Maybe Mom can
Thanks
sit in
for
on
the
interview.
memory.
So you want to pick your news this morning?
I think your mom should.
Oh, you think Mom should pick?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Mom, this is something, I don't know if you know this. This is something new we do on the show where I give Tom 3 headlines and he picks the one he wants to hear about. Sort of, so he can be a little participant in this part.
Otherwise, I'd just stand here and nod a lot.
I've noticed that.
This is beginning to feel like taking your mom to school. Here's where I hang my pictures. And here.
So here are the 3 choices. We've got... Oh, well, we got to find out what that is
What?
first.
Hey.
What's that hammering noise?
Adam.
Hang on, Mom.
We're doing a show here, Adam.
A show?
What are you building? You're building something? Oh, we can't.
A float?
All right, we'll talk about this later.
Oh,
You know
yeah,
what? If
yeah.
you can hold
Can
the
I keep hammering?
No, hold the hammering down.
Yeah.
Aunt Mary, how are you? Jim's Aunt Mary's here. This will all make sense later.
The hammer's
will.
smarter than the guy.
That's okay. Well, that's pretty funny when you think about it.
So the first topic is carpentry.
Yeah, that's right.
No, we got King breathes sigh of relief. I wonder who caught the bouquet. And success hasn't spoiled her yet.
Ooh. Door number 1.
Yes.
Which one?
Door number 1.
Oh, the first one, King breathes sigh of relief?
Yes.
Really? Okay.
Yes.
It's just that Oprah has signed on again. Was wondering whether she was going to sign for her talk show. She signed for another 2 years, and as a signing bonus, she got 500,000 shares of King World
Hello.
stock. Thank you.
Signed on with what? Jenny Craig or what?
No, she signed up to do her talk show again for 2 years.
Oh, okay.
That's
Yeah.
not the king I thought you were referring to.
What king were you thinking?
I thought you were talking about the story in England, the Queen of England. Did you hear this, Jim?
Elizabeth?
Yes, I did.
She
Yes,
was
I did.
hit.
He's the only one.
She was hit by a falling grouse.
Like a bird?
That's right. That's right. That's right.
I've told her time and time again.
The ultimate example of giving the queen the bird. She was hit.
Yay! Somebody had to say it.
No kidding. That's, but apparently she broke her collarbone.
Oh, you're
Falling.
kidding.
No.
I didn't even read that.
Yeah.
We are in much pain. Thank you very much. Yes.
What does that do to the queen wave thing that she does? This is way down there.
Yes, I'll have someone wave for me. Thank you.
Carpal tunnel syndrome.
Rouse tunnel syndrome. Since we saw you last time on Friday's Breakfast Time, approximately 62,000 transit buses have been operating on U.S. streets, and I think I hear some now. Now, we mention that because Phil Keoghan is in Roswell, New Mexico, and he's at the Nova Bus Company, where they are currently preparing a large bus shipment to my former digs in Boston, Massachusetts. Ooh. Isn't that right, Phil?
That's right, Tom, because they're doing their bit for the environment by producing these buses. And, you know, all around me are all the pieces that make up a bus. And when we come back, we're going to make like little boys, I suppose you could say, and put all these pieces together. Look, we've got the axles, the wheel hubs, all the little washers and bolts and everything. We're going to take you through the process of making a bus so we can send them home to your hometown there in Boston and to their mass transit authority there and transport people efficiently and effectively.
Now, when you say we, you're not actually going to participate in the construction of these things, are you?
I might lend a helping hand here and there.
Oh, great. I want to ride on a bus put together by Phil.
You know, supervising sort of role.
By the way, all my friends in Boston, if Phil's going to work on these things, your busing crises are not behind you. Let's take a look at Madison Square Park, right across the street, 5th Avenue. A lot going on there today. We can see Spencer Garbett with soccer essentials. Apparently, for those 18 and under, Spencer, this is the #1 team sport in the country, right?
#1 supervised sport. We won't ask what the #1 unsupervised sport is, but yes, that is correct. We have some young ladies here who will show us some of the basics of soccer, and of course, the most important equipment: cleats, balls, and of course, shin guards. So we'll go through that, and there's some other things going on in the park as well. Do you want to know about them?
Yeah, let's take a look.
Okay.
I think Cassandra's over there, right?
Yeah. We have Cassandra Dance here. What are you doing today?
Oh, I'm doing lavender, no, periwinkle, blue asters.
Okay. I don't know.
Oh,
it's a
boy.
segment. It's a tease.
Oh, yeah.
You're supposed to tune in later. And then we have, of course, Gwen's here doing fashions in plaid.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, women wearing tablecloths, yes.
All kinds of stuff out in Madison Square Park today.
Right now, we're going to take a look at some of today's top stories.
Okay.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Jane Fergus with Breakfast Time News. Here's what's happening. An Amtrak train with almost 300 people aboard fell off a bridge in the Arizona desert, killing one person and sending more than 100 to the hospital. The FBI is on the scene trying to figure out just what sent 3 train cars 30 feet down into a dry stream bed. The accident happened at about 1 a.m. and the train was headed for Los Angeles from Miami. Well, rumors are swirling this morning that O.J. Simpson and model Paula Barbieri have run off to the Caribbean to get hitched. A report says the couple is in the Dominican Republic, the same place Michael Jackson and Lisa Marie Presley got married. Simpson hasn't been seen publicly in days, but his lawyers deny the marriage plans. President Clinton gave one of the most frank interviews of his career to explain why family values are a priority with him. In the latest issue of Good Housekeeping, he recalls the time when he was 5 years old and his stepfather pulled a gun on his mother and shot at her. He says the troubled childhood he lived made him want to work hard at having a good family life. And finally, Mick Jagger says the Rolling Stones are adding a special song to their new album. The band covers Bob Dylan's 1965 classic, Like a Rolling Stone, they say, as a personal anthem to themselves. Well, that's a quick look at the news. Now here's Jim with a look at the weather.
And today's weather is being brought to you by Colgate. If your goal is no cavities, use Colgate Cavity Protection. And the Meeker shall inherit the spiky yellow ball in Meeker, Colorado, that is. But there'll be water on the Newberries in Newberry, Michigan, as this area here gets rain. We also got rain in Florida and the coast of Georgia and in Washington, Oregon, and northern Idaho. Spiky yellow balls all over the place. Let's look at those high temperatures.
Whoa.
And as you can see, we have a nice wavy, undulating pattern, sort of like the ocean in 1492. When Columbus sailed the ocean blue. That's the weather.
You know what it's kind of like, Jim? It's kind of like that wavy undulating thing is kind of like when you go to a friend let's just hypothetically mention Helen Tierney, who's one of our associate producers. You go to a friend and you say, you know, I'm feeling a little fluish today, and she says, well, take a couple of these big horse pills called Sudafed.
Non-drowsy.
Well,
Non-drowsy. No excuses for you.
I took them, and they're supposed to be non-drowsy.
They are non-drowsy.
Well, they're not.
No, you know what it is?
What?
It's not that they're non-drowsy, but they go the opposite direction. They make you just really lightheaded and spinny. You're not tired, but you're really...
Oh, thank you.
And it's funny because you don't look fluish.
Right.
Yeah, so it's the lightheaded and spinny thing that I'm feeling.
Right.
That wavy, undulating weather thing. Because I forgot to mention that today we're going to have a town meeting.
Yeah.
Later in the show, an actual town meeting as we go back to Phil Keoghan. Look, we have town meeting music, please. Maestro, do we have any town meeting music? We'll go to Phil Keoghan as he joins us in Roswell, New Mexico. He's going to give us a preview of what's going on in Roswell, New Mexico. And then to Jillian Hamilton. She is in the La Crosse area of Wisconsin. You're doing a fine job with the telestrator, Jim.
Thank you.
And she'll be in Onalaska, Wisconsin, giving us an overview of their respective towns and a preview of what's coming up all week. We have no town meeting music. We need like a Papa band or something.
As soon as it's written, we'll use it.
All right. Okay.
There you go. Little Springsteen hometown music.
That's
like
good.
it. We have the Plotz family joining us all the way from Erie, Pennsylvania. Now, Alan, is Dad, did I say that right?
Yes.
Now, because it's spelled P-L-A-T, Dad.
Right, but it's pronounced Plotz.
Right, okay, well, got it. Well, can you introduce your beautiful family to us?
This is my wife, Karen.
Hi, Karen.
Hi, Karen.
This is Danny.
Oh, Danny.
Hi, Danny.
Hi, Danny.
And Chuck.
Yo,
Yep.
Chuck.
And Andrea.
All right. You guys drove all the way here from Erie, huh?
Yep. Tammy called us Friday and wanted to know if we wanted to show up. We're here.
Good.
Right on.
You watch us on TCI Cable
We love
in Erie,
TCI.
Pennsylvania.
Yep.
Good to have you here.
Yep.
Are you feeling a little woozy and giddy at all? Or is it just me? Helen, Sudafed for everybody.
Yes.
Sudafed for me and my men. We're going to ask Jim to tell how other people can write and fax us and be the visiting family of the day, Jim.
Well, you write to us at breakfast time, P.O. Box 825. Oh, wait a minute. Make it stop spinning. Madison Square Station, New York, New York, 10159-0825. Or you call us on our Sprint-sponsored 800 number, 800 FXFXFX1.
Hey, Alice, my bus was built by a Kiwi.
Or fax us at 212-802-4208, or email us at fxbreakfast@delphi.com. Let us know when you're going to be in the New York area, and who knows, you may get that breakfast right on breakfast time.
Yeah, and have somebody wheeze all over you.
Yeah. You know what? I'm worried because we're both fighting a cold, and I'm just wondering who's going to crash first.
Or who's going to host when we're both out?
Oh, I'll take over.
I know. You should be afraid watching right now. Jim, you're going to help us with the assistance of your own Aunt Mary Gordon from Jersey City, New Jersey. Welcome back, Aunt Mary.
Hi, Aunt Mary.
You're going to help us understand this, the holiday where we
right.
celebrate the man who refused to ask for directions.
That's right. And, you know, and it was very important because originally the way to get to Asia was you sail from here and you went all the way around Africa and over this way.
Yeah.
And then you could get to India or the West Indies, pick up your spices, come back and sell them and make a lot of money.
I know a shortcut.
But that's right. And Columbus said, there's got to be a better way. There's got to be a better way. And so he and his brother Bartholomew, which was christened Bart's Great Adventure in those days, sailed westward from Palos, Spain in 1492.
Third ship isn't keeping up.
And then they headed southwest, and they got to the islands, and they landed in the Bahamas first.
Yeah.
Okay, and then while they were there, the Santa Maria sunk. All right, you might think it was better to be on the Santa Maria.
The first trip out, it sunk?
No, it sunk after it got to the New World.
Just when the warranty ran out.
That's right, before they headed back.
Yeah.
Columbus named the island San Salvador, Holy Savior, and then they sailed back, and they ran into storms and stuff on the way back, but eventually they made it back. Columbus came back again, okay, and discovered more of the New World, but he kept thinking he was finding Asia. As a matter of fact, he surveyed Cuba and said, here we are on the coast of Asia.
At least he got cigars out of it.
And he did get wonderful cigars, and actually I still have a box. But anyway, he finally stopped in Venezuela, and that's when he declared this a whole new world. Of course, he still thought it was Asia. He made a fourth trip and a lot of money.
All right, so he really never got further north than like Puerto Rico.
No, that's right, and that's the closest he got to the States is Puerto Rico. If you notice, Columbus liked to go to the islands.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
And let's never forget that it was a woman who green-lighted the trip in the first place.
That's right, Queen Isabella. Of
I bet now
Castile.
she would have asked for directions.
Absolutely she would have. First time out.
Who would you ask, Flipper?
Aunt Mary has something for us that you've made, right, Aunt Mary?
That's right.
They forgot to put the oven on, but we could show it.
Okay, let's
It's
see
not
it.
cooked?
It's not
Might
cooked.
show it?
Let's see it. Open the
Okay.
oven. Oh.
There we go.
Doesn't that look good?
Eggplant parmigiana.
Ah, traditional for the holiday.
That's
That's
right.
right. It's Italian.
That's right.
Yeah.
Finally, a good way to cook eggplant.
Now, Laurie, all that hammering that was going on
Yeah.
while you were trying to pick your news, you know why that was happening?
Yeah, I heard, but you go ahead.
All right. Well, Aunt Mary, this is if you're willing.
Sure.
Right up the street, we have the Columbus Day Parade going
Right,
on.
I
Starts
love
at, as a matter of fact, it's going to begin in about 2 minutes.
Whatever you say.
44th Street up to 87th Street.
Sure.
We're going to send you out. Is Ross Kamen, one of our crack producers,
Yeah,
going to
where's
go out?
Ross? I saw him.
We've built a float for you.
Oh, that's great.
You're going out with Aunt Mary?
Shouldn't I have
That's
something
been
that
good to
bets
know
on
you.
me, though? I
Yeah,
would-
we'll give you a special pendant, and you're going to go out and you're going to
Great.
crash the Columbus Day Parade in New
Oh,
York.
isn't that
Your
right?
own float. Don't forget your parade wave,
I
Aunt
could
Mary.
die happy now.
Aunt Mary,
I
practice
could
the
die
wave.
happy in the Columbus Day Parade. Oh, my
This is
goodness.
the oldest Columbus Day parade in
Oh,
America,
is that
by
the
the
one
way.
you're going to get a kick out of this?
Aunt Mary, let's see it. Let's see the wave.
A little slower, because you got blocks to go. Go out with Mike. Go head out with Mike.
I
You're
love
gonna,
you, Tom.
you're gonna crash the Columbus Day
And
Parade.
here's
I
our
love you,
official
Mother.
permit.
I love you, but what does it say?
It says official float permit. This permits Aunt Mary to participate in the
Okay,
Columbus
good.
Day
Let's
Parade.
go. This is great. Should I get my jacket?
No, we'll take care of that in a second.
Okay,
We'll send it out with
And don't forget to
Bring
hand
it
your
up,
Back here. This is your float.
This is my float.
Yeah. And I guarantee you will.
Hold on for 1 minute if you would. Oh, look at
There
this
you go.
poor thing.
All
See
right.
why I adore you?
Yeah.
Do you
Right
tell-
out the door.
Wait a minute. Do you tell your mother I adore you?
Buona fortuna!
Terry, our floor director said, did you notice that Carrot Top is there? How can you not notice?
Hey, am I on? Hey, howdy. Oh.
You're right, it is him.
All right. Oh, I get to come in? All right.
Carrot Top's here. Aunt Mary's
Hi.
going to crash your parade.
Hi, how are you?
Jim, what else is possibly coming in?
Are you Carrot Top
Good to have
and
you here. Really,
Caxton
that works
Kangaroo?
together.
Right, yes.
Just call us angels of the morning, angels. All coming up on breakfast time.
Digging for buried TV treasure? Hit the mother lode with the Pet Department. Steve Walker and
my dog, Wacko Jacko,
plus the entire Pet Department gang will help you strike pet pay dirt.
We're the show that helps you find a pet, care for a pet, and enjoy a pet.
Every day you'll get precious gems of animal information and sterling training tips. Don't get hosed by fool's gold. Saddle up with the real McCoy.
You like me. You really like me.
Strike it rich with the Pet Department. Every day at 3:30, 2:30 Central, only on FX.
Yo! Aiming for no cavities? It's possible with proper oral care and Colgate cavity protection. Much like this liquid penetrates chalk, Colgate's fluoride penetrates teeth to help stop cavities.
No cavities with Colgate.
So if your goal is no cavities, use Colgate cavity protection.
There are those among us with very simple tastes. They only want the best. And for them, there's Fancy Feast gourmet cat food. Exceptionally moist and delicious. Fancy Feast. Good taste is easy to recognize.
Clogged drain? Professional strength liquid plumber drain opener doesn't dilute in standing water. So, more of the good stuff hits the hair clog. So, it's the strongest you can buy. So, I hate it.
Sorry, plumbers.
My dear, I can turn you from dowdy to delightful. In no time, it's a whole new you. New easy recipe from Bird's Eye, the fresh look for vegetables.
Oh, boy, am I can't stop. And my body is... Oh, how am I ever gonna...
Vicks, NyQuil, liquid caps. Why is it the nighttime sniffling, sneezing, coughing, aching, stuffy head fever medicine? Why, so you can rest medicine, of course.
The combination of the Nordic Track exercise along with a low-fat diet has really helped me trim my waistline and my weight.
When I first started working out with the Nordic Track, I lost a lot of weight in a very short period of time. I went from 226 to 172 in just a few months.
I look good. I feel good. I've gone down 2 dress sizes. I feel sensational.
If you've ever wondered what a Nordic Track workout can do for you, just listen to an owner.
You want me to talk about my experience with Nordic Track? I had become a couch potato. We all know what they are. Ended up talking to my doctor, who said I had to do 2 things. Watch my diet and exercise regularly. So as a result of getting on the Nordic Track, I brought my weight down considerably. I lost 12 pounds. Now I want you to go right out and buy one.
Call now for your free video and brochure to learn how you can get on track with Nordic Track.
It's 20 minutes past the hour. Welcome back to Breakfast Time with Laurie, Tom, Bob the Puppet, and me, Jim Mayne, the announcer. And here's Aunt Mary.
Yeah.
There we go.
Heading off to the Columbus Day Parade.
You got blocks to go. Let's move.
Yeah.
She starts on 44th
You know,
Street.
we have no
26.
shame, do we?
Right. Right. This is the Santa Maria on its way back, by the way. That's just what it looked like.
Are they having trouble? We've actually seen no forward motion of the float.
Does it not roll?
We're waiting for the parade to
They're
come to
waiting for
us.
the big...
Yeah.
Oh, perfect.
I want to get it
Way to
just
go,
right.
Michael. Perfect.
Michael, can she move at all?
Yeah.
Go.
All right. Go, Mary.
Oh, there it is.
there we go.
All right, she's on her way.
There's no brakes on that thing.
I'd feel better if it had an airbag.
What you got to do is watch the news tonight and see if she makes the news.
It's like driving
Woman
Miss
arrested.
It's like driving Miss Daisy.
Kind of. Patricia Moreno, our FX personal trainer, joins us to talk about one of the oldest disciplines for physical well-being. It's called yoga, and we're going to do a little bit of it.
That's right. It's really popping up everywhere. A lot of the gyms are incorporating this into their classes because the techniques really can be used by everyone. So we're going to start with really an energize. Everyone has to sit up with their legs crossed. Try to get your back up as straight as possible.
This is going to take a while.
Shoulders back.
Don't worry, Bob gets my
We'll come
back
back
up
to
every
you,
day.
Bob. Just rest your wrists right on your knees and try to sit up as tight, as comfortably as possible.
So, but Tom's in a full lotus there. Now, do you need that?
This is for a more advanced position. You don't need to, but Tom's good at it, and it's really, you need to be very flexible, and it has to be a comfortable position.
I've already pulled something.
Just relax. We'll take care of you. So what we're going to do is just breathing technique. What you want to do is take a big deep breath in, but instead of raising your shoulders like you just did, Laurie, think about letting your rib cage expand this way. So instead of going like this, go. You see how your rib, you want to think of your ribs expanding. You're going to take a big deep breath in, hold it, and then with your lower abdominals, you're just going to, through your nose, go.
I've done this before.
And what that does is it'll create energy inside your body, heat you up, and it's all through the nose. And then you fully relax, and then you'll do it again. Take a big deep breath in through your nose.
By the way,
nose challenge.
If the president is watching, it's okay to inhale.
This is called the breath of fire.
This is called the breath of fire. It just energizes you, helps you focus. You do a couple of sets of these, whatever you feel comfortable, you get better at it.
Great for the diaphragm.
It's great for the diaphragm. It also really oxygenates your whole body. Just kind of gets you mentally alert for your day and ready to go.
Unless you've had Sudafed.
It can even help you. You can do a few more. So let's do another one. Okay. When you first wake up, sometimes your back is tight, or you're sitting in your desk all day. Your back is tight. You want to stretch it out. You've been working out. You're going to sit, hands right underneath your shoulders, back straight, knees apart.
That's a nice shot.
And what you're going to do is just think of a cat stretching. You're going to let your head drop down, and you're going to lift right through your center as high as you possibly can.
That feels great.
And then you hold it,
like a room full of
and then you give it a relax. Everybody relax. And what you'll feel, let your abdominals relax as well. You'll feel your belly kind of relax. This is kind of like a cow. It's a cow pose. Your back will be slightly arched, but not extremely. Just at a comfortable position. Then again, big deep breath in. And pull it up, let your head drop down, and it's really like a cat stretching when a cat stretches on their hands, and then you just relax.
I haven't been watching is everybody doing this?
Yes.
Out in the park, they're doing it. There you go.
Yes. Everyone's
They're looking like a fountain.
Everybody on the third floor. Good for you, Jane.
There you go, Jane. This is a good one for Jane because she sits all the time.
Yeah.
And now let's do the last one. This one we have to all stand up. This one's called the warrior pose, and what this will do is tone your upper and lower body.
I know this one.
Everyone's going to start with your feet a little more than shoulder width apart, toes together. Then just take your right foot and rotate it so your toes are pointing outward. Your heel should be intersecting the arch of your left foot. Then you're going to take your arms up and then right out to the side. Long, long fingers, and bend your right knee so your right knee goes right over your toes. Take it as low as you can. Now the key is stay right there. Stay right there. Exactly.
I knew I was doing it
body just a little bit more. Yep. You're going to go as low as you can and really think of like a bow and arrow, both energy coming out of both here. Right. Look towards your finger, your right finger.
Look like a bunch of hood ornaments.
And all you're going to do is hold it. Lower your shoulders a little bit there, Tom. Perfect. Now these guys are doing it good. Kids, this is a great one for kids because they really can use their imagination. You're going to hold it, come back up, rotate that foot to the front. Is everybody out in the park doing this as well? Rotate there, you rotate the opposite foot, and then you go straight down again, holding it as low as you can. Laura, you need to push your left foot out a little bit. Your knee should be right over your heel. And then there you go, chest up. If you need to lie on the couch, and you're just going to hold it as long as you can. Deep breaths, and bring it back up. And then you reverse the other side.
Nice done, nicely done, Phil.
And what it'll do is it'll help tone and tighten your upper and lower body, as well as stretch and give you flexibility.
It's amazing how something so relaxed can give you so much energy.
And it really does. You'll take 2 minutes in the morning to start your day, and it's really a great way to start your day.
Patricia Moreno, our FX personal trainer with our Monday motivation.
All right.
Very nice.
We continue working on our outer, our inner selves with Captain Kangaroo. Bob Keeshan, a thought for the day. Bob?
Olin Miller said this: if you realize you aren't so wise today as you thought you were yesterday, you're wiser today. What did I say?
Oh, it's Monday, Bob.
It's the worst short memory loss I've ever seen. What did I just say?
It's happening to you, too.
It's catching.
Carrot Top, have
You're
a
talking
seat.
to me?
Right.
Cool. Hello.
Let's all welcome what Eric Stoltz looks like after the lightning hit. Carrot Top.
You know, Tom.
That really hurt. Oh, we all get our own sofa.
Yeah.
Cool.
Oh, yeah.
You don't get those in other shows, do you?
Tom,
You got to share.
Yes, Bob?
Slap a blue hat on this guy and my job's in jeopardy.
You and me on the road, buddy.
That's
You and me.
Well, it gets worse than that. He's actually on opposite us in some markets.
No!
That's right.
Yeah, he does a lot of things. He's also funny, so.
Yeah, that's right. Now, Carrot Top's own morning show that just shows you how big-hearted we are.
Yes,
we welcome other morning shows.
Sure. Look how red. My hair, can't find my hair in this one. He looks bald.
So you're on the, not surprisingly, the Cartoon Network.
Cartoon Network, yeah.
Imagine that.
Yeah, it comes on every morning.
Yeah, CNN put him in turnaround.
Yeah. This is David Goodenhouse, CNN. Carrot Top, right after this with the sports.
Carrot Top's Morning Mayhem.
AM.
Yeah.
AM Mayhem.
AM Mayhem.
Right,
Every
AM
morning
Mayhem.
on the Cartoon Network.
All right, and this is...
killer. Hey, look.
See? Separated at birth.
Right.
Huh? The resemblance? That's uncanny.
Hey, you big bug.
Yeah.
Gilligan!
Hey, little buddy.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay. I'm a puppet, didn't I?
You want to take a look at a clip of this,
let's
this
watch
here
the clip.
show of
Sure.
yours?
I haven't seen it yet myself.
You play like a dozen alter egos?
Yeah, different. I hope it's funny now. We're going to watch it.
All right, here we go. Carrot Top from his new morning show on the Cartoon Network, AM Mayhem.
I've got the best invention yet. Haji, you know Johnny Quest show. He's got that little turban thing happening, right? I got the idea. It's the turban dispenser. He can just crank one of these little suckers out. Always have it ready, wrapped around his head. Ah! And you have a beautiful turban ready to go. Whoops! The jewel part. We need the jewel. Right here. You take a little jewel and you stick it right there in your head. That way you got it. I feel like dancing. Sim, sim, saladim. And the Oscar goes to Carrot Top.
Now, here's what I've read about you, that you can find comedy in any item.
Pretty much any. Well, look at your float.
Well, there you go. We've got an apartment.
They say it's the oldest Columbus Day. Columbus is in it, actually. That's how old it is. Columbus is leading it. Yeah.
We've got an apartment full of stuff, and you are welcome to put that to the test.
All right? This is a great
You want to do a little run amok?
Oh, I don't know about that, but there's something probably funny in everything.
Do we have the find comedy in any item Jeopardy music ready, Rob?
Gosh, you guys put me on the spot. I had no idea. that you were going to do this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead, Carrot Top.
10 seconds. 10 seconds.
This is me on Jeopardy. What do you got? I got Jesus, bonus round! All right, let's see. Oh, boy. Here's a bad juggler. Hey, a juggler in the 1380s. I'm trying to... Oh, look, Karen Carpenter's chair. Hey. Oh. All right, maybe not. Okay. Hey, it works.
That's all right.
No. That's why we're on later.
He's a genius! That's why we're on later.
So you're going to be introducing all these fine classic cartoons and just cutting up?
Yeah, pretty much. It's fun. It's a good show. It's me being characters. So I get to be like a grandma, I get to be a little guru lady, and I get to be me. It's going to be great.
Good.
We need one more parade in New York, though. That's what I think.
Yeah.
One more parade.
Yeah.
Well, you're welcome to join.
The Pope. The Pope is gone now.
He's gone. He left. He went to Baltimore yesterday.
That was like bigger than the Stones. It was like the Pope brought to you by Pepsi. The OJ verdict brought to you by American Express. Gee, many crickets.
Yeah.
And LJ's out of the country now.
Apparently. Well, that's just a rumor that he went to the Dominican Republic.
Oh, wait, here. Oh, look, there's the Pope now.
See, you make fun of the Pope's sponsorship and get attacked by nuns.
A hit squad.
You send his people over to see you.
How do you solve a problem?
It's Sister Act in New York. They're filming Sister Act again.
Carrot Top's AM Mayhem on regrettably another cable network, but that's okay. We're big hearted about
clean your
that.
floors?
Yes, you can
This is
stay and
great.
do whatever
Stay as long
you
as
want.
you like.
We're doing
Do I
a
have
plaid
nothing to do?
segment later.
Oh, cool. The plaid
fashion.
segment. You got it.
Yeah, all right.
I dress myself.
Carrot Top!
My babe, yeah. My man.
Funny thing is, he thinks we're joking about the plaid segment, and we're really not. There actually is a segment on plaid as fashion coming up later in the show.
First guest we've ever had who clashes with an entire segment.
What else is coming up?
When my grandfather Giovanni Ambrosio came to America, he worked for the Transit Authority. Now we see how those buses are made. Coming up on Breakfast Time.
FX says, get ready to roll. Race, rumble, and run for cover. Vegas, weeknights at 11, only on FX.
Terrific.
They're still back there.
Don't worry, love. You're riding in the world's first sport utility wagon.
I am.
That's right. This here's the all-wheel drive Subaru Outback.
That's great, but...
You know, it's got more cargo space than a passport.
Uh-huh.
The ground clearance of an Explorer.
Yeah, but...
Oh, did I mention, it gets much better gas mileage than a Jeep Cherokee.
Outback, you say?
Subaru Outback. The world's first sport utility wagon.
She never could keep a secret from me. We wanted to be princesses and astronauts. When she moved, it was only 2 streets. I thought my heart would break. I named my rabbit after her. In college, they thought we were sisters, but we were closer. She named her daughter after me.
Open your heart with the Friendship Bouquet from the FTD Expressions Collection. FTD, the language of the heart.
How many germs are riding on that school bus? Millions, plus my 2 kids. But at least I know they're coming home to Safeguard.
Safeguard antibacterial soap eliminates more than 99% of germs. Safeguard the ones you love. Safeguard against germs.
You're watching the amazing cleaning power of new Soft Scrub Gel. So powerful, it cleans this tough stain right before your eyes with no scrubbing. Then it rinses clean away. New Soft Scrub Gel.
In 994 AD, the Gargoyles' castle was destroyed. 1,000 years later, they've landed somewhere new, at Burger King. Now your kids can get a Kids Club meal with a tasty flame-broiled hamburger, fries, and a drink, plus one of 5 incredible Gargoyles action toys from the Gargoyles TV series. They can battle the forces of darkness with the Spin Attack Broadway or the Sparkling Spinner, all for a rock-bottom $1.99. Now at Burger King, you'll find great value and some very interesting characters. That's getting your burger's worth.
Tell your politicians you want to prevent crime before it happens.
FX wants you to take a stand.
Don't wait to take action. Be part of the solution. Organize a letter writing campaign. Let local leaders know that crime prevention programs should not be cut from their budgets. It's easy and effective. Politicians will listen because there's power in numbers. Don't be passive. Take an active role in your community today.
Stop the anger and neighborhood destruction. Take a stand.
It's 26 minutes to the top of the hour. Welcome back to Breakfast Time with Tom, Laurie, Bob, the puppet, and me, Jim. I'm the announcer. And here's Laurie and her mom.
Thank you very much. Yes, we're having breakfast. And the
Bob.
Bobsters with us as well. My mother's having ham and eggs, and I'm having, of course, Aunt Mary's lovely carrot cake.
Yay.
In honor of Carrot Top.
In honor of Carrot Top being here, Aunt Mary baked
You want
carrot cake. And actually, we should mention that Aunt Mary, we've sent her to the Columbus Day Parade here in New York City. She got her own little float, her own little sash that says Aunt Mary, and a permit, you know, signed by Paul Shavelson, so you know it's real.
It's the one with the X on it.
Hopefully she'll come back with some good footage. I can't wait to see.
She's going to come back with a police record.
Yeah, true.
Oh, another segment.
She arrived with a police record.
We're going to join Phil Keoghan. He's spending his morning at the Nova Bus Manufacturing Facility in Roswell, New Mexico, where they're churning out new buses like maniacs, aren't they, Phil?
Yes, they are, Laurie. I just want to explain that I have a little communication problem because we don't have our normal IFB, so I'll do my best to hear you as we do this.
Okay.
I want to show you, Laurie, how they turn these pieces of metal into a finished bus here. This is a company that could turn out up to 1,600 buses a year, and the fact is that there's 62,000 buses around the country operating right now, and this company right now, as Tom mentioned before, has as a contract to turn out some buses for the Boston MTA. This is Jim McDowell, who's the director of advanced engineering here. And if we take these pieces here and explain to Laurie just how you go about putting a bus together, because really Henry Ford's assembly line and the whole principle of putting a car together or anything together is still the same, right?
That's right. And these modules, Phil, are lettered so that we make sure we don't mix up the modules and have a mistake where we'd have the wheels in the wrong place.
Yeah, or
these
the
are the
seats on
end
the
pieces
outside,
that go into this welding machine right here that welds these modules into one single unit.
These are like the cross sections of the bus here, Laurie. And so they're like the ribs, in a way, I suppose you could say, of the bus.
Right.
And obviously, it's important to get them all together. You can see that these guys are top welders. They use a lot of very experienced people, obviously. But a lot of the work, too, is done by the machines that they have right here, which can do a lot of the work. And the materials that you're using, how important is it to use top materials?
That's right. We're using stainless steel materials. These materials won't corrode. That makes our bus last for 12-plus years. That's very important in transit operations to make sure that the buses are economical.
Okay. This machine's not working right now, but if you look at these are the finished up sections right here, Laurie. So this is kind of like how they go. They start up with the individual pieces, weld them all together. You can see they've got all the different sections right here until you end up, once they've put them all together and aligned them all up, you end up with a structure of a bus, and you probably recognize this. The lifespan, Laurie, of these buses is about 12 years, but some of their buses have been around for 20. And if you've ever ridden the buses in New York City, these are the buses. This is where they came from in this particular place. Now, along the top here, we can see some rails, Jim, and that's just to help you move them along, right?
That's correct, Phil. What we do is as buses move from one station to the next, and each station they do a different procedure to put the bus together.
Okay. Top materials, and Laurie, let's have a look down here. You can see the bus is slowly starting to get together. How important is it to make sure that the bus is all lined up so that, you know, all the sections are all in line?
That's very important. It's important that you have these things keyed together so that the buses can be put together in a uniform fashion and they drive straight down the road.
Okay, we're moving down the assembly line here, Laurie, and again, all the little pieces are being added up. Let's go down here. I want to show you this cool machine. You can see it's rotating as we speak right here. The finished bus, this is everything, the whole shell, and it doesn't look so good right now, but believe me, once it goes into the paint room down here, gets a little coat of paint, and then all the pieces are put on, it'll be a finished bus. They really have a lot of pride in their buses here. When we come back, we're going to show you how they finish them off, how they finish these buses off, and before they send them out to all the places around the country where they're used for mass transit.
They're used all over Canada and the U.S. actually, because it's a Quebec-based company that bought it out down in New Mexico. Very fascinating, Phil. Really well done. Tom?
I don't want to alarm you, Phil, but I think I saw Dennis Hopper in there. All right.
He can't hear you.
Guess what? We ain't had enough fun. They ain't had enough fun. Little Feet's here in the apartment. This is a celebrity-laden day. We're all celebrating the Columbus Day holiday, so we've got Carrot Top hanging out with our visiting family.
we got Susan Day downstairs.
Oh, we have Susan Day coming in.
We're log jammed.
I just found out the Pope is flying back for today's show. So we're very excited about that. While we sort this all out, here's a look at some of today's top stories.
Okay.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Jane Fergus with Breakfast Time News. More bad news for the Democrats. Georgia Senator Sam Nunn announced he will not seek a fifth term, saying he's seeking a new course for his life. Nunn is the Senate's foremost authority on defense issues and a key Southern Democrat. Pope John Paul II is back home at the Vatican this morning after his whirlwind 5-day U.S. visit. The pontiff is taking a well-deserved rest after wrapping up his pilgrimage yesterday with an outdoor mass at Baltimore's Camden Yards. He called for Americans to carry their religious values into the political arena at that speech yesterday. 2 American scientists and a German biologist won the Nobel Prize for Medicine today for their work to fight birth defects. The Americans are Edward Lewis of the California Institute of Technology and Eric Wischhaus of Princeton. And finally, Ted Danson and Mary Steenburgen tied the knot in Martha's Vineyard Saturday. Among the guests were the President and Mrs. Clinton, Tom Hanks, and almost the entire cast from Cheers. That's what's happening in the news. Jim, what's going on with the weather?
The weather peaks in Chesapeake, Virginia today, practically perfect. But no, Lewiston, Idaho. Rain in the northwest, around the Great Lakes, Wisconsin and Michigan, and in Florida. Let's look at those high temperatures. And as you can see, things are moderate everywhere. We have a little brontosaurus of 80s, and that's the weather.
You know, you're right.
Thanks, Jim.
According to this, this is the stuff that I took, because I'm fighting a flu. You're fighting a bit of a cold, too, right? This is severe cold formula, and it's not supposed to have any drowsiness. Now I find out, after I suck back 2 of these horse pills, that it may cause nervousness, didness, or sleep. Yeah.
How will we notice?
Right.
It's not sleepiness, it's sleeplessness.
Right.
You can't sleep.
Right,
You're just too hyper. You're like,
There's Tom's secretary, Lucretia Borgia.
Can I fold some paper bags while Laurie reads a letter?
Hey, a little mailbag music, please, Maestro.
I'm gonna sit right down and write myself a letter.
Sucks to be me.
At least I'm smart enough to take the sleepy one.
Oh, man.
Things are not off. We got a great letter from Mr. Ernie Edwards of Great Falls, Montana?
Great Falls.
Montana. Dear Laurie, Tom, Bob, and the whole FX Breakfast Time crew, lately I've watched your show and I've had this incredible feeling of deja vu. I think I finally understand why. It's as if someone turned the Marx Brothers loose to do a morning TV show. All my favorite characters are there. Tom as Groucho with his nasally voice, sneaky asides, and generally shysterish manner.
That's the most ridiculous comparison I've ever heard.
Oh, this is funny. Jimmy announcer is Chico with his shady background and a where's the next sucker attitude.
Get your Tootsie Footsie ice cream.
Bob the Puppet is Harpo, always chasing the girls but never quite catching them. Although we're not quite sure what to do if he ever does catch one. And Laurie is Zeppo, the straight man and obvious brains of the bunch. Funny. And finally, noted producer Paul Shavleton is one of the many incarnations of Margaret Dumas, the epitome of normalcy. In a Mark's mad world where by definition normalcy is
Great.
itself.
Shavleton, Jean Genou.
I'm defending Your Honor, which is more than you ever did.
We thank you so much, for that was very clever.
Yeah, thank you.
Jim, give us another Margaret Dumont line. You were nailing out a whole bunch of them in the office.
This must be a gala day for you.
How about a gala day is all I can have.
Mom, help me!
Get a shirt.
That's right. Write to us at Breakfast Time, P.O. Box 825, Madison Square Station, New York, 10159-0825. Or call us on our Sprint-sponsored 800 number, 800-FX-FX-FX1, or fax us at 212-802-4208, or email us at fxbreakfast@delphi.com. All of these routes, they get your letter read on the air and get you a T-shirt in the mail.
Yeah.
It's true.
I know you guys want to tune up and such. Do you want to play us to break? You want to do anything to play us to break? Just jamming a bit, Little Feat with us in the
you got these
apartment.
instruments, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Quiet, Jim.
Computer software for kids, soccer for kids, coming up on Breakfast Time.
Yeah. Beneath the masks, FX superheroes are just like us.
What took you so long, Batgirl?
Rush hour traffic, plus all the lights were against me. And you wouldn't have wanted me to speed, would you?
Like us, they put their tights on one leg at a time. Batman, only on FX.
Big news! Extra softness is here. With a new soft cloth-like cover, Huggies Ultra Trim are rolling into town with the softest delivery ever. Watch as we compare an ordinary diaper with new soft Huggies. Go ahead, feel for yourself. Ah, so very soft. In fact, they're a softer way to help stop leaks. New Huggies Ultra Trim with cloth-like softness. They're changing the way everyone feels about diapers.
Going back to basics, living simple as can be.
Glade Basics has natural extracts for pure, clean, simple freshness.
Just one fresh and clean, I'm living basically.
Available in plug-ins, refills, and spray.
Going back to basics, to what means the most to me. Going back to simple, I'm living basically.
Glade Basics, fresh from Glade, S.C. Johnson Wax.
Mentadent users, ask your dentist about Arm & Hammer Peroxycare.
Our dentist gave us a reason to try a different baking soda and peroxide toothpaste.
Arm & Hammer Peroxycare.
The reason?
More baking soda.
2 out of 3 dentists recommend baking soda for healthy teeth and gums. And only Peroxycare's patented formula gives you 10 times more baking soda than Mentadent.
No other baking soda and peroxide toothpaste gives us as much.
Arm & Hammer Peroxycare, serious care for healthy teeth and gums.
And now try new Arm & Hammer Peroxycare Tartar Control.
It's more than the place where dreams come true. It's Club Fantasy Island. Rock out to the killer sounds of...
I got the music in me.
Grind to the beat of...
Thank God I'm a cut girl.
No, you're not dreaming. Club Fantasy Island rocks your world with Tattoo's house mix of New York, New York.
If you can make it here, you can make it anywhere.
You'll be jamming to style and sounds.
Wow!
With the monster hits of Club Fantasy Island.
Bravo, bravo.
Weekday mornings at 7 Eastern, 10 Pacific, only on FX.
Come on, Papa.
It's 14 minutes to the top of the hour. Welcome back to Breakfast Time with Laurie, Tom, Bob, the puppet, and me, Jim. I'm the announcer, and here's Tom.
This is, by the way, this is Little Feat's latest CD. Ain't had enough fun. It's all wrapped up. Usually that'd be annoying, but we got them here live, so we don't care. Little Feat here, and apparently, Rob, you're getting the sound all set up for them. Is that right? We're working on it. All right, good enough. So we're sampling sound. So you can, I guess, you can keep, running your sound check.
Oh yeah, let the woman sing.
Yeah.
I know. Yeah, they were singing during the break. I'm going to head down here. I'm going to head down here to take a look at.
We got one of the day first.
Sudafed check. Sudafed check.
Yeah.
Jim?
Yeah.
Go with that. That was a good instinct. Go on. That's the Sudafed theme song.
Do you have a word of the day for us?
Yes, Laurie. The rich Mediterranean culture of Italy has some elements that are confusing to Americans with Northern European heritage. For example, when Aunt Mary says to Uncle Eddie, "I'll crush your head like an overripe melon," it was easy to misinterpret that as, Maestro, vitriolic, which is something that's bitter or sharply expressing a negative feeling or something designed to cause mental pain. And it comes from, the vitriols are acids. Okay, so
there's a camera on me.
But in your
no, but actually, those are in the Aunt Mary expression. It was actually a term of endearment.
Absolutely. Well, that's your whole family.
That's right. Yeah. That's right.
So it's not a hair tonic.
But it is the word of the day.
Okay.
Maybe I shouldn't be drinking more caffeine.
Yeah, you're mixing your metaphors there.
The alchemical quote, they want the rights to your bloodstream.
Ooh, I know. Hey, Carrot Top, want to come down and see some CD-ROM software?
I'll slither up.
All right, let's walk silly. That's the most ridiculous thing. We've got two women here, Kathy Maranker and Allison Elliott, and they, with the Boston Computer Museum, have compiled a book.
I know nothing about computers.
Which suggests the best CD-ROM software for your kids. Good to have you here with us. Welcome to Breakfast Time.
Hi, Tom.
Care for some medication? This is, now I think, a nice little overview of what we should be looking for our kids for software. And the first thing I know that you want to talk about is that if you don't have a CD-ROM and you have a computer, that this really is the wave of the present and future, right?
It's here. It's here. All the new programs coming out this Christmas are going to come out on CD-ROM. So you need to have a multimedia machine and a CD-ROM drive to run them.
Now, I think for those parents who might be drawn to the familiar, like Lion King or Dr. Seuss, I can understand that. It's sort of easy, it's identifiable, but there are a lot of fine games with characters that might not be readily recognizable.
There are terrific games that are tremendously enriching, very, very entertaining, that they might not otherwise hear about, but we've got them in the Computer
Well, let's take a
Museum
look
Guide.
at this. This first one is Trudy's Time and Place House.
Actually, we're going to show you Hollywood first, which is a new program for children ages 9 and up. It's from a company called Theatrics. It costs about $40, and it turns kids into screenwriters.
All right.
They won't take your job away, but they will.
Isn't that redundant?
They can produce it, they can write it, they can.
Of course, after the game, they always really want to direct.
And
That's what Costner started.
What we've done here is we've asked a couple of 9-year-olds to get together and to create a quick
Produce
script.
Waterworld.
So we're going to show you what it looks like, and then at the end, I'll show you how you can add to it. We've got a teacher in the classroom. We've got a good-for-nothing student in the classroom. And we've added personality to these guys. The teacher is really irritated. You can add any kind of characteristics to him. If you say he's angry, his body language will correspond. And now
So we don't hear the script.
JJ, I want to talk to you.
Redback. Wow.
Right now.
You type it in,
Shall we
and
play
the
a
characters
game?
speak what you type.
All right.
Yeah.
Then it's got
I
all these
can't
sound
believe it.
effects that you can add.
All right, let's take a look ahead here in deference to our time limitations at Trudy's Time and Place House as well. What does this give us?
Okay, this is for kids ages 3 to 6, and here we are in the symbol sandbox.
All right.
Great metaphor for kids. They know what to do in here. But watch, we're going to pull these over onto our grid and watch what happens in the sandbox.
Wow.
You're creating that yourself?
Wow.
These are great
We're
learning tools,
just
but
building.
parents should be cautioned not to treat this as a replacement for television at the same time. Right? Seriously, it's not meant.
Wait a minute. Or comic books either.
No, wait a minute. Jim's clearly on his own medication, but that's a serious point. And some parents do that.
It could be an electronic babysitter, or it can be like another TV, but most parents are looking for the computer to add more.
Right.
They want the computer to enrich their kids' life, to add to their educational experience.
Right, indeed. And do you think we are now at a point where there's an incredible range of these games, or is that yet to come? Or
There's almost too much for parents to choose from.
Can you substitute the computer for your parent?
Yes. A lot of kids would like to do that.
Parents, I got a computer.
This is a wonderful resource. We've taken a quick look at a couple of the games, but this book Kathy and Allison have put together with the Boston Computer Museum is a wonderful resource.
Yay.
The guide to the best software for kids, more than 200 reviews. Thanks a lot, both of you. Appreciate it. Good stuff.
Good to talk to you.
Same here. Laurie?
Cool.
Thank you very much. You know, on a professional level, soccer may seem to a lot of Americans to be kind of like the poor cousin of football. But on an amateur level, it has become the most popular sport at the amateur level. Is the #1 supervised activity for kids under 18. Spencer Garbett is across the street in our own backyard, Madison Square Park.
Get my butt kicked.
Are you getting your butt kicked?
Yeah.
Part of the game?
Yeah, it is, actually.
It's a fine butt, though, Spencer.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
And it has increasingly become a very popular sport. 18 million people are doing it. And for a good reason. But you need a lot of equipment. Equipment is very important because you want to be protected. This is Susan Ryan, and she's also in charge of the head coach of the Olympic hopefuls here. So what's important in terms of gear?
Well, Spencer, the very first thing you have to look for is a good pair of shoes.
And there are different kinds of cleats, so what do you want to look for in a cleat?
Well, this is a synthetic shoe, and it's probably the least expensive and good for kids that are just starting out that are probably going to go through a couple of pair in a year or two.
Because their feet are still growing, right?
Exactly.
And then for different kinds of turf, you have different shoes. What about these?
Yeah, this is for a hard turf or an astroturf surface. You see they have many different little prongs there, and it's better for a hard surface.
Okay, and then for softer turf, you use something like this, correct?
Yes, this is molded, and this is a leather shoe, so this shoe would be a little bit more expensive.
Okay, so once those feet stop growing. And also this one has an adjustable, you can take these little cleats out, so if they wear down, you can just go and get a new one. But these are very expensive once those feet stop growing. Shin guards, have you ever gotten thwacked in the shins? Boy, does it hurt. So you got to get something like this. What are the different types we got here?
Well, we've got your basic lightweight pair, and again, this is probably for the more advanced player who doesn't want a lot of protection. This pair right here is probably a little bit better, and then even better than that is this because of the protection to the ankle bone.
Okay, yeah, these are padded right here, so that little bone right by your ankle gets protected.
Yeah.
And then these are molded like your shin to give you just a little bit, just that extra little protection you might need on those hard soccer playing days. Then there are also two different types of balls. A leather ball, which is hand-stitched, a little bit more expensive. How expensive is this, Susan?
That's probably about a $30, $40 ball.
Okay, and then you have your synthetic balls that aren't hand-stitched. So if you're not into that handcrafted ball stuff, you might back away from that. You can outfit a player for about $50 or so, and then for another $25, $50, you can get them involved with some type of youth organization that'll teach them these different types of skills. What are the basic skills they need to learn?
Well, right here we have 3 basic skills. On this side to the left we have passing. In the center we have dribbling. And then to the far right we have heading.
Okay, now one thing that Susan was mentioning, which is pretty important, is that soccer is one of those games that you really don't need to be a particular size. You don't need to be tall or large or fat or skinny or in shape. No matter what size you are, boy or girl, you can play soccer. And it's also fastly and 39% actually are man, I get a workout from these women. 39% of our adults, 37% are women who are playing this sport. And it's actually the #1 supervised sport other than football in local colleges for getting sponsored. I got it. There, we're right. Quick, get off.
Yay,
Well done,
on the head.
So I quit on a win, Spence.
No kidding. Spencer Garbett telling us the basics of soccer. Tom?
That's right. And we'll have more with Kick the Correspondent later in the show. Can Little Feet take us to break?
Oh, yeah,
I
please.
think we're all set
Yeah.
sound-wise.
I'm from Rockford, acting crazy. And with the right medication, won't be lazy. Oh, folks boogie down on the farm. We'll tell them they were not coming on.
On breakfast time.
Yeah, just one more chance.
Is your collection so colossal, you've run out of space in your place?
Where do you take a shower?
You're not alone. See a different super collector every day on Personal FX, the collectible show, only on FX.
These guys are persistent.
Well, they're no match for the world's first sport utility wagon.
Oh, really?
All-wheel drive Subaru Outback's got more headroom than a Cherokee.
Uh-huh.
The ground clearance of an Explorer.
So you said.
Rides smooth as any car.
Got any more of those tidbits?
What, like more stability in a turn than a Chevy Blazer?
Sure, that'll do.
That's why Subaru Outback.